Peace and blessings is real. Um, First and foremost, I want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushai, for allowing this word to come out, man. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters are edified by this word. And the name of the lesson is called Sign of the End Times, Biblical News, volume 266. And in this edition, we're going to speak about the Florida high school teacher redefining the N word. Now, I want you to pause and think about that for a minute. In this sign of the end times, we're going to speak about a Florida high school teacher attempting to redefine the N word. The title alone should be a clear sign that we in the end times. The title of this word should be a clear sign that we are in troubled times. I mean, you had a teacher at Allen Coast High School in Florida. All right, he runs he's a AP History class teacher, and obviously he's a so-called white man. And in his AP History class, he attempted most recently to redefine the N word. Okay. Now, before we get into his interpretation and his recreated vision and definition of what the N word is, we're going to give you the history meaning or the history understanding of the N word. And it's simply a substitute word for nigger, okay, which is highly offensive. It's a racial slur directed at people of color known as so-called blacks, okay? In the Bible, they would be called Jake, Israelites, Jacob, tribe of Judah. And that's what the N word is symbolic to. So if you are people of color, like you see on the screen, when we hear the N word, we know exactly where it comes from and we know how it make us feel just hearing it, regardless of where it comes from. But when a white person hurl out that, it has a whole different sting to that word. It's a whole different offense. And what you have is a AP history class teacher at Allen Coast High School attempt to redefine the N word. And his interpretation of the N word would be ignorant, aka a stupid person, aka a not well educated person. That's what he's trying to define what the N word is. Let me say it again. His attempt of defining the N word would be ignorant, calling someone ignorant. The N word really means just someone that's ignorant, aka a stupid person, aka a not well educated person. Now, I'm going to tell you what's the problem with that. Could you imagine a so-called black person calling a white person the N word? And they say, "Oh, it's not a racial slur. I'm calling you ignorant. I'm calling you stupid. I'm calling you a not well-educated person." No one's gonna resonate with that's what your interpretation of the N word is. So what we have here is someone. This teacher is insulting the intelligence of the people of color, man. Okay, treating us like we stupid. And in the Bible, it speaks about the Israelites, specifically Jake, being stupid. In Jeremiah 4:22, it says, "Our people are foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children." Sottish children is symbolic to stupid. And that's exactly what the thought process with this teacher, man. It's a white supremacist rewrite indoctrination in plain sight. All right. It's a racial propaganda, AKA underneath racism, that's still going on today, man. And then to even put some stank on it, this same teacher said slave owners wouldn't whoop their slaves. So not only is it a mock, not only is it insulting someone's intelligence, it's blatantly disrespectful, man. Like in the time that we in now, this has probably been one of the most rough times for people of color when it comes to racism. You saw what just happened recently to George Floyd, and it's a lot of others, okay, that have been victims of this. And then you have a teacher in an AP history class come and say, "Hey, man, the N word is simply just mean someone that's ignorant, someone that's stupid and not well educated." Unreal, man. I can't make this up, man. I can't make this up. All through the Bible, it speaks about oppression. It speaks about partiality, oppression. It even speaks about discrimination in James 2 and 4. All right. It speaks about discrimination and showing your judgments guided by evil motives. And that's exactly how people of color was discriminated on. And the people that discriminated had evil motives, man. Slavery, all of that. You see? Donald Trump, who just left the White House, was a known supporter of white supremacy. And America had no problem with that. Just like America's not going to have a problem with this teacher attempting to redefine the N-word. Utterly ridiculous, man. What's the name of the lesson, man? Sign of the End Times, Biblical News, volume 266. And in this edition, we're speaking about the Florida high school teacher redefining the N-word, man. A so-called white teacher at Allen Coast High School has a AP history class. And what he's doing is his underneath racial propaganda, AKA white supremacist rewrite indoctrination in plain sight, man. And he thought that people of color wouldn't see that he insulted someone's intelligence. Unreal, man. Unreal. Again, when you hear the N word, it's symbolic to a substitute for the word nigger, Nigger, which is highly offensive, which is a gross racial slur directed at people of color, aka so-called blacks. Cold-blooded, man. You remember Donald Sterling, the LA Clippers owner? 90% of his basketball team were black men. And he was on tape calling them racial slurs, man. And that wasn't too long ago. You see that? So we are in dangerous times, bro. Because no matter how advanced things supposed to get better as far as equality, as far as, people of color being treated better, we are still considered slaves. We are still considered the N-word to a lot of people, man. They've been trying to keep it under wraps, but as you can see, it's starting to seek out again. We in trouble, y'all. We in dangerous time for real, man. I hope you sincere brothers and sisters was edified by this word, and we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out. And amen, keep Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushua, first in everything that you do. And stay prayed up, man. And hey, listen, if you see any type of person, whether he's a so-called white, a Hispanic, a European, whatever it is, man, watch out, man, because the N-word, they want to call us the N-word, but they're trying to find a non-offensive way of doing it. And this teacher just tried it, man, in his history class, in his AP history class. This man attempted to try to insult us in a nicer way, man. Already. Shalom.